So aside from Hughie Fury versus Joe Joyce, the British Boxing Board of Control have also announced Daniel Dubois versus Nathan Gorman. And this is set to be an eliminator for the British title. And it's also for Daniel Dubois' English Heavyweight Championship. And therefore the purse will be split 60-40. I'm assuming that is in Daniel Dubois' favor. Okay, so yeah, well, it has to be because he's the only one holding the title going into the fight. And as with the other fight I've already talked about, Hughie Fury versus Joe Joyce, purse bids, if they haven't come to an agreement by December 12th, purse bids will ensue, and the fight has to take place by the end of March 2019. Now, this is a fight which Bricktop has been promising the fans for a long time. This is a fight that we know Nathan Gorman wants. Daniel Dubois hasn't seemed to be shying away from it. It's just down to Bricktop and the management of Dubois and Gorman, whether they both want it. Bricktop has been hoping this would be some kind of stadium fight or sell out a big arena or something like that. But with his current financial troubles, well publicized by the mainstream media in the UK, that might that might force Bricktop's hand on this fight. He might decide to bring this one forward to try and get some money back into the business flowing again. So will he defer this one, or will he try to have it sooner rather than later? I've been on record several times saying that I would much rather see this fight sooner than later. Why? Because history shows us that when two fighters fight each other when they're both unbeaten and barely out of the novice stages as professionals, that's when you usually get the best fight. When you match these two guys up again, let's say both of these guys get to world level. If they fight when they're both at world level, I reckon there's a good chance it'll be a much more cagey affair. But if you put them in the ring together now, when they've both got it all to prove, when they're both more reckless and they haven't fully developed their defenses, etc., I reckon you'll get a much better fight out of it now than if it takes place in 18 months, 2 years. So I'm definitely an advocate for having this fight sooner rather than later. And I hope it does go ahead. It would be great for the domestic heavyweight scene in Britain if this go. It would be great if both of these fights go ahead. Hughie Fury and Joyce. And then the winner of that will have to defend against the winner of Dubois and Gorman. I'd love to see it. And if it does take place, I mean, I've been back and forth in my head between who I think would win, Dubois or Gorman. A couple fights back, I would have said Gorman. But after Dubois' performance against Kevin Johnston, and it's funny, people see performances in different ways. It all comes down to perception. It also comes down to expectation. I didn't expect Daniel Dubois to blow Kevin Johnston out of there. I didn't expect that. Kevin Johnston's been the distance with Kubrat Pulev and Andy Ruiz in the last 12 months. And these are top 10 heavyweights. So there's no shame at all in Daniel Dubois, a guy who's still a novice heavyweight, going 12 rounds with Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson's still going 12 rounds with world-class heavyweights. It's not an issue. Okay? So I wasn't disappointed with Dubois' performance. I actually thought he looked quite good. I was impressed with his work rate. I was impressed with his stamina. He kept his shape. Yeah, I thought Dubois did good and I saw what I needed to see. And so going into a Nathan Gorman fight, I think it's very, very intriguing. I think it would be a very fiery contest. And I'm not sure who I would pick. I might have to sit on the fence and just enjoy the fight. Sometimes it's not always about who you think is going to win and taking a side and picking. Nah, sometimes you just want to see a good old-fashioned heavyweight scrap. It does remind me of when Joshua fought Dylan White. It was just a good old-fashioned heavyweight brawl between two young, hungry guys who had it all to prove. So hopefully we get something similar with Dubois and Gorman. I think that fight ends by a knockout. Unless one or both of them have got iron jaws, then I think that fight ends by a knockout somehow, somewhere. I think there's far too much aggression in the ring between them. Far too much to prove. Someone's going to get chinned. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out.
Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.